Welcome back, everybody. On this week of Monster Mayhem, Susie's going to the
Monster
moon.
Mayhem.
I do not mind joining you in going to the moon.
Okay.
Will there be snacks?
Susie is the snack maker.
Kinky.
Well, there will be if Susie makes them, but unfortunately, there's only mooncakes. Maybe some moon juice to go with the mooncakes.
I don't know. You
guys could split.
What
guys
other
could split.
snacks can you offer?
I mean, the only ones you like are fear-based, so
Well,
I have the kobolds. They're very scared sometimes, so that like each individual has like a teardrop's worth of scary. So there's like 1,000 of them, so it's like a combined effort. And then I mix it up in some cookies.
This is good. Let's do that. Okay. Talk me into it.
Okay.
You guys could split up though. I have it planned so that you can.
Sounds like Matt wants us to split up.
I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying it's an option. Okay.
Follow Susie.
You guys will go into the portal. Alright. You guys will start in a giant moon crater. We're talking several kilometers wide. The walls of the crater go up about 100 meters.
Well, let's start moving.
Phil will terrestrial scooch. Just squeak. Even could go up the side of the wall.
Yep.
Well, I wish I knew where we were going. What does the map say, Ainsley?
Pull out the map. Map says we haven't been here before, so we have no landmarks.
Oh, we're a crater, though. That's a landmark, right? Giant crater.
The map will actually kind of pause for a moment. You can almost feel the map going, where the fuck are we? And then it like zooms out. Keeps zooming out until you just see the planet as a whole. And then it's like, wait a second.
We're not in Kansas anymore, Toto.
You can basically feel the map going, I'm the map of the world, not the world and the moon.
Well, okay, that's fair. So the map says, fuck you, I'm the map of the world, not the map of the moon.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like, I zoomed out as far as I could, I'm sorry.
neat. Susie's going to do a little bit of hand waving and take out this new crystal ball and kind of hold it in one of her hands. And while other hands are moving around, little cosmic like dust particles start to kind of form around, and she's doing a divination on where the altar is, and so we can get some direction on where to go.
Okay. Fire away.
Here we go. There's the first one, and I rolled an 8. So I'm going to add on a good old lots of stuff here. I'm going to look at my jobs and classes, my seer stuff. Get a
Cool.
plus 10 to that. Awesome. So that's going to be 110. Improves any object used. The scry, double efficiency and double potency, increases details given from a medium using this new crystal ball. Boom. 12 degrees.
Hmm. It is a long, long ways away. You are not to actually approach the palace.
Okay.
There is a shrine
Excellent.
somewhere on not quite the dark side of the moon, but close.
Susie will bring her hands back, put the crystal ball away, and she'll point that way. Onward, Philip, my trusty steed, Tristle Scutus.
Yeah, and he'll just squeeze straight up the sheer cliff wall of the crater. Just sitting the entire time, completely defying gravity. Because it's Phil. In a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the question is, how long does it take us? Do we run into any things while we're going there? And how's everyone doing? What do you guys think of the moon? We're still alive, which is good. Really feeling this moon energy, though. Very, I almost say I'm aetherly lit up right now. Feeling lit. You know, because I'm moon element, cosmic element,
Mm-hmm.
fate element. Feeling in the zone. Oh, I don't know what else the elements would have done to that sinus science roll too, man. Divination. But I got Aurora
That
going,
showed
so.
you exactly where you needed to go.
Yeah, right.
Because on the moon, that does not guarantee you're going to end up where you wanted to end up.
Yeah. Well, good thing I'm who I am and not somebody else. Susie's Susie. That's the important part, guys. This was on the sun, this would be a whole different experience. We'd all be dead.
It could be a little spicier, yes. It could be very spicy on the sun. So, if you guys would like, you may roll for potentially running into stuff. If that's what you want.
Susie will be meditating while we're terrestrial scooting. So I'll allow other people to be our eyes and ears and noses and all the fun stuff.
I'll keep a lookout.
Okay. What are you keeping a lookout for?
Spooky stuff. Really anything that isn't moon.
Okay. I could do that.
I do a D100.
Sure, if you'd like.
$79.
See a couple slow-moving comets that you could fly out and actually grab because they're only about 2 meters off the ground.
Sounds like fun. I'd do it.
All right, how do you want to catch them? They don't seem to be moving too fast, but looks can be deceiving. And it's kind of this purple. It's kind of spooky. What you think?
2. Get a big rock and go throw it. The meteorite.
Yeah, could make me a ballistic skill.
Trying to make it crash land immediately. Did it.
Okay, yeah. Just poof, and it shatters into ice.
We're doing investigate the ice. Did you do a signy science on it?
Yeah, if you like. Those are cosmic element aether stones. Small size, low grade.
And it's safe to touch?
They're fragments now because they're extremely fragile in comparison to the other elements. But yeah, you can pick up shards.
Is there any whole ones that I haven't shattered yet?
You'd have to go catch a whole little comet with your bare hands.
Do it. I believe in myself.
All right, so what I'll have you do for that one, to have you roll sleight of hand.
If comets are tiny cosmite energy aether shards, I now know why my spell Comet Fall hurts so bad.
Yeah. Suck it. Ah! Bail! Bail!
Just pummel people with weaponized aether stones.
Okay, so did I catch the comet? I think I caught the comet.
You have?
So it's a cosmic element aether stone?
Yep, low grade.
Susie,
Yes.
I got you a gift.
You got me a gift?
I'm gonna give the low grade cosmic element aether stone to Susie.
Ooh. Well, thank you.
Not like I like you or anything.
Okay. Susie will study and then put it away.
It is exactly as advertised. Little weird thing about it.
Yeah.
If you let it go while on the moon, it just continues on its journey.
Yeah.
To somewhere.
Ah. Well, I'm not letting it go. It's mine.
Okay.
Could follow them and find out where they're going.
Oh, there's multiple?
Yeah.
There's only two.
Oh, there's only 2.
You caught the other one, and you blew up the other one.
No.
Keep my eye out for more.
All right. It's like, why don't you go ahead and give me a 1d100? It's the also known as the Char Char.
Oh, what?
Would you like to roll a 1d100?
Sure, why not?
Oh. You find a weird rock that is aetherless, and it's a very soft rock.
Hmm.
Let's say about a 5-pound rock.
I'm gonna. We're scooting along, aren't we?
Yep.
I'm gonna wait until we reach our destination to perform the ritual for identifying it.
Sure.
I can get it if you tell me that it's there. I'll go
Oh,
get it.
I would jump off and get it.
What?
I would just jump off and get it.
It's actually faster, yeah.
Take a bite out of it, chew it like bubblegum.
Phil will if you
Hmm.
don't. Hey, he will eat the heckin' sauce out of rocks. He loves
I know.
rocks.
Mhm.
And that's why you don't let him have it.
Yang, 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 yang. What?
No.
He's like, what's wrong? I'm allowed to eat rocks, right?
Not this rock.
Oh,
My rock.
okay, fine. He eats another rock just because he can.
Yep.
In fact, at one point, while he's scooting, he leans his head down, opens his mouth, and scooches the chin part into the dirt, and just goes waka 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 waka, and eats a whole bunch of dirt as he's scooching along, kind of like a bulldozer.
These are some good visuals.
Waka waka.
Yep. He's a very big waka 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 waka. You got yourself a little thing. Let's see. Foxy, why don't you go ahead and roll one? Tell me what you're kind of looking for, though.
What I'm looking for.
Yeah,
I don't really know, but it's Ashen Fur. He's just looking for something fun and
Okay.
or interesting, or a book because he's obsessed with books.
Okay.
Nice.
Yep. No.
Just in the range you want.
Okay.
Chaotic shit.
I mean, it's also on the moon, so
As
it's
you look up,
really close to Idarendale shit.
yeah, as you're looking up, you're like, wow, that's a really beautiful, series of shooting stars. Look at all those. Hey, they're getting brighter. That's so cool. Oh, they're getting brighter. Oh. So, Ashen Fur, if you would please. Hold on, let me look at your spells. Where's your X spells?
Bottom of the spell list.
these spells. Yep. I am going to have Comet Fall happen on the group.
Mm,
At level 1.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's an agility and a luck test. DC is 50 or less to avoid getting hit for a D10 plus 1 true damage.
I don't like that. Foxy boy, do you got some magic for us?
You can cast the barrier. Yeah.
Uh, I'll put a wall of force bubble over top of Phil.
Okay. Yeah. And they plink off the wall of force harmlessly.
Well, one moment. I'm considering the thought process on this. I'm going to combine the wall of force with a with the modified grease spell I figured out to make the grease spell sticky to see if I can catch the meteorites.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a D100 for caught meteorites. I'll have you re-roll. Okay. You'll have one caught that actually cracks the wall of force, embeds in it.
Ooh.
Okay. You'll catch 73 cosmic element, low grade, small sized aether stones. And one medium grade, small sized cosmic element aether stone on your greased, sticky wall of force. Not bad. Not bad. Turned a what could have been a pretty bad little interaction into a rather profitable one.
Hey, Susie.
Yes.
Do, do, do you have any use for these? I've got
She'll
a
look him
lot of
over.
them now.
How many was it? 73?
73 small sized, one medium sized.
Hey,
If
there's
you
no.
if you want though, I do have the process to where I can filter them to make stronger ones.
I mean, you might as well do that, and then Eatsley can cut it. Can you combine them, or is it just like a? Is it just like an
Yeah,
overtime process? Okay, yeah, you should do that.
it's so for it because these stones are 4-to-1.
Mhm.
For every 4 small I put into the arcane mixer, I will get 1 medium back. For every
Yeah, I
4
think that's a great
medium,
idea.
I get 1
Yeah,
large.
yeah, I think you should do that.
And if I do it with just aether stones, it will come out with the quality purified.
Oh, cool.
So I will do math here for a moment. Um, three. What's the step up from a large?
Supreme.
Flat? So I would have one small. Let me type this out. This will take me about an hour, by the way.
Oh, by the way, is this going from quality or size?
It's going from size. They will
Okay.
still be aether stones. It has a unique quality of purified aether stones.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I wanted to make sure that we're not going to lodestone size. That's all.
Yeah.
Daly, okay?
Luna just tickled me.
She's been attacked by the Luna girl with her
She
tongue.
shoved her nose into my side.
Oh,
So after doing the filtering process that I have, I would have this remaining.
sure.
Well, sorry. The sizes. Large is lodestone after large for sizes. I thought we were going with qualities.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I was curious about too. So one lodestone, 3 large, 2 medium, 1 small.
Yeah. So I'll give you the 1 small, 2 medium, and 3 large. But with the 1 lodestone, considering the value of lodestones in rituals, if you don't mind, I'll keep that.
Sure.
And I'll just give you the rest.
Okie dokie.
Because they are.
No. Yeah, you guys are on your way. Squee. Waka waka waka. Okay. I'm gonna have you guys roll one more D100.
2 more?
Just one
One
more.
more.
Yeah,
You
one
guys
more
want
piece.
me to do it?
Well, one more piece. Everyone gets one.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Wow. You rolled twice?
I only rolled a 0 before, so I rolled twice because you said 2, right? For each.
No, one more. You already rolled your first ones.
When did I
Yes,
roll
you-
my first one?
Oh. Oh, that's right, you didn't. The 18. You'll find some moon moss. It's blue. Cerulean, glowing blue.
Hey,
I see how it is.
yours.
That's new.
Cool.
You didn't know plants grow on the moon.
We're gonna check it out.
Yeah, it's just on a random rock. It looks like it grew off of one of the landed little comets.
How much of it is there?
Enough to fill 2 cupped hands. But you could just take the whole rock.
I'm gonna look at the
Have it grown
comet.
up.
Yeah.
Well, the comet is just like any of the other comets you've seen so far. A low grade, small sized aether stone of the cosmic element impacted this rock, stuck to it,
Hmm.
and then potentially a plant was feeding off the energies and spread out.
Ask Philip to Or maybe I can do it. I'll use Philip's power to shape Earth, or if Easley has that power, I know Easley has one, to
Easily.
break apart the comet and the rock, and look at the impact zone of the two to see if there's any weird transmutations.
It looks
the
like
two
the rock that
colliding.
impacted was a geode.
Okay.
A little crystal inside. And it punctured the geode, imbued it with a bunch of cosmic elements, and bloop, instead of a crystal growth, it's a plant growth.
Ah, neat.
The plant is made of a weird substance that other plants aren't made of. They're made of silicates. It's a crystal moss.
Crystal moss. Very neat. Does Crystal Buddy have any interesting powers that could utilize this? Like crystal growth?
He might. He does have a crystal nurture power.
Yeah. So, Indra, do you want this crystal?
Nah.
Okay.
It does require a weird environment.
Yeah.
Specifically, it won't really grow outside of an identical environment to that of the moon. Because you guys, there's no air on the moon, but you guys are breathing just fine.
Yeah.
And it should be really cold on the moon, but it's not that cold.
Interesting. I'm gonna charm it.
Okay.
$41. Allie, can I borrow a fate point?
E.
No, I'm totally gonna get something lower, but yeah, okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I was just hoping it could with plant charmer skill, you can get it to drop off things at a certain location.
That's kind of tough. You don't really have anywhere where this plant would survive.
I know, besides the moon.
Hmm?
But Philip can get to the moon.
Yeah, so it'll deposit itself in Phil's little thing.
Vacation home.
Yeah, it'll put it in his vacation home.
Yeah, because we can make it drop off at a specific location, so that's where we're going to have it do it.
And that's where it is. Okay. Alright, going down the list. Alright. Azure Fur.
Mm-hmm.
There is a beautiful wisp of light that looks just kind of like a comet. But it has these white little tendrils that kind of swirl like helixes in its wake. And it doesn't really leave any particulate matter behind like a real comet does. It's the size of a golf ball. Just pretty quick.
Can I just try and guide it over?
What do you use to try and do so?
I'll start trying with the light element that I am.
Okay.
Trying to think of any way I could.
Doesn't seem to be attracted to the light element.
Cycle through the elements, see if it's attracted to any of them. Spirit, fire, and fate are the remaining ones that I have.
Hmm. It does react a little bit to spirit.
Oh, that settles it. I immediately begin trying to dance with the light.
All right, make me that dance. Dance, dance, dance. I want to see the dance.
That is. Where was it? Just a flat fellowship test.
Well, it'd actually be a charm.
Oh. Okay.
Or performance.
Don't have perform. But
Okay.
I do have charm out the ass.
All right. Yeah, it kind of swings by over towards you. And it starts to kind of orbit around you. That is a spirit. Cosmic element spirit.
Nice. I am totally dancing with the cosmic spirit.
I'm going to have you roll one more charm test. And what I'm going to roll against is its Wanderlust.
Okay. I gotta add my fellowship bonus again. Charm test of spirits because of spirit friends. So 82. Eh.
You do need to beat it. That's a pretty good roll. We'll see what you got.
Yeah, I don't have fate points. I have boons.
Yeah. It will orbit around you.
Nice. I also know it needs cosmic element stuff to be safe. So I will totally pull out my new cosmic element lodestone to be a spirit nest.
Okay. So what this will do is a couple things. This is the cosmic passenger. He's just there to go on a magic journey. He's supposed to go places, even if it's in an orbit.
Cosmic passenger,
The cosmic
you
element
said?
lodestone. Cosmic passenger.
Okay.
Yeah. He does not take up a slot against your reservoir of spirits. How many
Okay.
your total? He will hang out inside the cosmic elements, low grade, lodestone sized Aetherstone. When he's out, he needs to have, if he's not on the moon or in space, he requires one Cosmic Element, Aether Stone every turn he's out. Because otherwise he just goes back into the Lodestone.
Okay.
He will make an orbit around you every turn. He collides with anything that is in his orbit. And you can pick whether it's 1 square around you, 2 squares out, but it's only a 1 meter that he hits. But you get to pick how far out the orbit is. You can use a legendary action point to get him to go around 1 more time in the turn for as many legendary action points you have.
Okay.
He rolls a D100 true damage upon impact. Completely random.
Yep.
Whee! But while he's on the moon, he's just going to circle around you.
Mm-hmm.
Moon, moon, moon. Moony moon. Alright. Cosmic Passenger has joined your little group. Alright.
I'm just going to continue dancing on Phil's head with my passenger.
Okay. Itzy, you're going to find an ancient sword. It is in piss poor shape.
Really?
Yep. Super bad shape.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
It is an ancient katana, like weeaboo style. The blade is absolutely jagged and cracked and chipped and spent. What it does have is some of the sword combination ingredients in it.
Mhm.
Like the Makugi
Mhm.
and the Cord of Binding.
Nice.
The sword is not aetherless, but it is without aether at this point.
Mhm.
It currently, if you give it aether, will have the cosmic element attached to it.
Okay.
But if you try and hit anything with this, even if it's just swinging it through the air, the blade will snap.
Okay.
It's in that bad condition. Staring at it with a frumpy, glare, snap the blade.
Okay. So I have a question. Is this in worse condition than my heavily damaged two-handed sword?
Yeah, by like twice as bad. It
All
is the unusable condition.
Mm-hmm.
What that blade has, though, is what this planet doesn't. It's made of steel.
Yeah.
This folded steel blade. People don't make that. Monstre, some very specific, very rare Monstre, have
Folded steel?
folded
Okay.
steel. Yeah.
Hmm.
Do you want me to fix it for you?
Not here. Because I'm going to be doing a very cheeky
It is missing
evolution
its
here soon.
sheath.
That's fine. I'm going to be doing a very cheeky evolution soon.
Okay.
I just need to get so many things again.
You got a Makugi and a Cord of Binding in the blade.
I do have Makugi and a Cord of Binding and Blade. I need a few other things, though.
Yep.
But
this thing has some of the much more difficult variants to get your hands on.
this is true.
The Makugi and the Cord of Binding are Do you remember how hard it was to get those?
Oh, those bitch. That means I think the only thing I actually need.
It wasn't even about money at that point. You had enough money. It was like, I don't got it.
It was finding someone that had it.
And was willing to sell it.
Actually, I don't need. Well, actually, the Leaders of Legendary Blood might help. Actually, I don't need the Hanging Tree Branch or the blood. Oh, I have an interesting idea.
Hmm?
Yeah. Anyways,
Okay. Indrid, you'll find what it looks like a small beached boat.
Finally, I can live my pirate dreams.
Think of it as a two-seater, but it's built more of like canoe style. It's open top, and it has a big cresting nose that goes up at the front. And it looks in great condition. Looks like somebody just landed it and it's skidded across and it's been left here.
I'm gonna get in it and see if I figure out how to make it fly.
Shenanigans. There is a crystal interface. The guy, whoever was using this, couldn't use it anymore because it ran out of magic power. Ran out of aether.
Oh, I've got some aether gems on me, I do believe.
Mhm. This one doesn't need cosmic element. It just needs aether stones. You plug in the aether stone into the main console, and that's the battery. And then when the battery is drained, the aether stone disintegrates and turns into dust and particles.
Does it take a specific size aether stone?
Small. Doesn't look like it takes medium
Billion
or
of
larger.
those.
Yeah. From your calculations, you can get 10 minutes of use for a small size low grade.
I know I have a million of those. I'm just trying to figure out where I wrote it down.
For a medium quality or mid quality, you'd get about 12 hours of use. High quality, you'd get like 4 or 5 days of use. And then if you have a treasure grade, small sized, you'd have like 3-4 years of use before you have to swap it out.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start flying it around.
Okay, it's actually pretty easy to use. It does require you to keep a hand on this kind of flat interface that has a kind of a palm outline with these weird circuitry looking things that run across it. And when you put your hand on it, the device activates. And all you have to do is kind of think what you want to do with it. And if you're like, lift off, it goes whoop.
That's pretty cool. It's like some Atlantis shit.
Mm-hmm. You have a moonboat.
But I'm going to fly it around after Phil.
Cool.
I love my moonboat. Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, it seats 2 other people besides the pilot.
No, It's my moon boat. No one else is getting in.
Fair. That means you have a whole bottom of a boat to throw loot in.
Awesome. Exclusive Mothman boat.
Moonboat! Meow. It doesn't seem to go too fast, but it's pretty fast, especially on the moon.
Yeah. It's cool. I accept
It takes time to ramp up acceleration. But it can get up to pretty decent speed. Faster than Phil can trust your scooch for sure.
It's awesome.
Downside, it doesn't do autopilot. Once you take your hand off for any reason, it starts to slow down and float back down to the surface to touchdown. So, got to keep your hand on it, but otherwise,
I accept.
all right.
Suspend, I know.
Susie?
So, yeah, I think I rolled a 59 for you.
Yeah. Kind of floating by. There seems to be something of what looks like a ebony white little broken staff segment sticking out of a little dune.
Interesting. I eye it up. One eye opens, and I'm like, Philip, can you stop for a second? I see something.
I'll stop. Squee.
Susie will jump off and start moon jumping over to the location.
Hmm?
And then she's going to check it out.
Okay. All right.
She's gonna.
It looks like kind of what you'd see like Gandalf the White staff, but
Yeah.
the bottom part and the top part of the staff are completely broken off. And you just have the middle haft, or the shaft of it. And it's this beautiful, unblemished white.
Ainsley, can you identify this for me, please?
Sure. Stop for a moment, get the tools out. Da da da. Let's see here. Boop boop. Do I have mastering comments yet? I don't. Notice I'll get mastering comments at some point.
Looking at it, used to be part of some sort of powerful staff. But the bottom of the staff, which would be the support, the grounding mechanism for the staff, is missing. And so is top of the staff, which is where the foci is. It's missing. It is made of a wood that you cannot get anywhere but on the moon. So...
And so you would need to
catalyze it to add it to an object. It does not remember what it once was, so it's only a material at this point.
Which is good for it, because then you don't have to worry too much about the resources needed for it.
Try and find the other two pieces, the lost pieces.
It doesn't remember.
Yeah, but it won't remember what it was.
Yeah, and those are probably gone.
Okay. Yeah. But a wood that can only be found on the moon. Very interesting.
Yeah. The name of the trees that grow here. They are protected by a Deerndale. They're called the Unblemished Stargazer.
Unblemished or unblemished?
Unblemished.
Okay.
They are trees of exactly the same color, completely white.
Mm-hmm.
They are blessed. Even in its current state, it is still blessed by a Deerndale.
I see. Hey, well, I'll put this away. Thank you, Itsley, for finding what this is for me.
Of course.
All right, on our way.
Okay. All right. As you guys kind of move along, things get a little bit rougher. The terrain is not as flat. Phil has to start to take a little bit more detours here and there. I'll have everyone roll me an awareness test, please. Or a Cynicians, of your choice. It'll give you different info.
Roll sections.
Okay. Ooh, good awareness. Missing alleys. Oh no, was that their Cynicians up there?
Sweet on Ellie's.
Yeah, so
7 for 7.
Nicely done. You guys are approaching the shrine. It's a bit out of the way, and it's kind of on this little raised plateau, and it shines in the moonlight like nothing you've ever seen. It is mystical and ephemeral. You guys just want to make a direct beeline for it, or what's the plan here?
No, this seems a bit too easy.
You want me to take a look at it?
Yeah.
Take out the kaleidoscope, and I'm going to look at it through the kaleidoscope.
Okay. There is an approach vector that you must properly do, or you will never make any progress. It's the appropriate pilgrimage.
Interesting. So I let everyone know that this seems like a little harder than what meets the eye. We must go at it in a certain, well, certain path, certain mindset, because this is a pilgrimage, I guess.
Let's see.
So the kaleidoscope can give me the idea that it needs to be a certain path, but we don't know the certain path to take, correct?
Seems so.
Okay.
GM, I'm going to take out the lantern I got for the underworld.
Okay.
That's what's up me for getting lost. I want to see if it can help shine a path.
You get a feeling this is not meant to be used here. This needs someone with a Dirndale's blessing or objects.
Hmm.
Okay. I will pray to Andirondale and ask if I and my family can take the pilgrimage. And she's thinking back to the bone coin offering she gave over at the well.
Yay.
Wondering if that can be used as the to light a moon path for us, or if not, I guess we can go at it a different way.
Why don't you give me a 1d10? Because you offered a bone coin.
I did offer. Wait.
I will also.
I rolled a /1 instead of /1 instead of /.
Maybe we should also find the beginning of the path, because on pilgrimages like this, they usually have like instruction plaques and the like for guiding those who have quote unquote lost the ancient ways or stuff like that.
But you know what we're missing? We're missing the entrance point, the start of that path. Because I know what you mean. Like, the steps. Each step has like something about it, or there's things at the beginning. So maybe the 9 will help us in some way. Was it a 10? Unfortunately, and I'm sure 10 is one of the the high end numbers for Idirondale. But
Okay. The boon path will light up. It's a bit treacherous and a bit tricky.
okay.
You guys will have to do a lot of teamwork here and there to overcome some of the more intricate parts of the ascent up to the temple.
Okay. Well, I found us where we start, everyone. I do not ask that you take this journey with me, only if you wish to come. So if you do wish to come and be part of this pilgrimage, then I would love to have you. But it will be treacherous. And
Maybe a little
I'm
spooky.
only thinking of myself here. I am not thinking of the rest of the party.
While I wouldn't be opposed, my brain says I will wait at the entrance because I am not a devotee of Idirondale. This feels like something special to the lady.
That's for you to decide. I appreciate your honesty.
All right, Susie, let's get going then. I'll help you.
Is coming? What about you, Indrid?
Yeah, I'll come.
Okay. And Philip?
Pretty lady. Moon lady.
I know you like your pretty ladies. Okay. All right, Ash. We'll see you soon then.
Do you need any help that I can do? Because I can pass my spells through the friend link. Just let me know.
You do get the feeling that approaching it would not be problematic for you.
Okay. Because I do have those problematic circumstances. So I'll follow them up to the edge and sit there.
Hey. Let's do this.
Yep.
March has begun. March.
Give me a divination roll to see if you can successfully deliver yourself.
Okay. So we're gonna have the crystal ball in one hand, and we're going to do some hand manipulations for a cosmic divination. This is there. Not a good start. Allie, can I use a fate point? By the way, Allie, I didn't use that fate point last time, so.
Okay.
Slash R1T4. Okay, I think that is 2 better, so there's a 4, and then I'm going to add 40 onto the Science Science test. 40, roll of 48 degrees of success on the Science. Let me know if you need more.
No, seems okay. Let me grab your tokens. Hmm. Nope.
Is there anything special about this ice crystal ball that I'm using?
It seems to hold the image in higher clarity than what you're used to.
Right, it's more solid, we could call it. Even though glass is still pretty solid, I guess it's more. Okay.
Something like that. Mm-hmm. Put those there, put you there. You'll know how it be. Ooh. On the move again. No, not that high. All right, you reach to the top, and as you crest the hill or the ridge to make it to the top of the plateau, you see 2 separate groves of cultivated and nurtured, unblemished stargazers.
Flat.
Duh.
I'd like to tap the infinite sundial and end the turn.
Yeah, I know.
I can't help myself.
Well, game's over.
uh,
Hey, what are you gonna do?
um,
I go up to the door.
slowly approach the door.
It opens.
Mm-hmm. Head inside.
Susie will take a deep breath and then step inside.
I would say easily took a deep breath, but he has no lungs, so.
Yeah.
Look at me, take a fake breath, shillords. I'm Skeletor. Wrong IP. Oh, sorry. I'm Eatsley.
Exactly.
All right.
Does this feel like where I'm supposed to? Does this feel like the altar? It's the only one I really
Maybe.
see.
There seems to be two others.
Yeah, there's one to the one tree over here, and one to the other. Yeah. And then there's this one in the middle here.
Mm-hmm.
What is behind it? Is that like a it's not a
Chair.
book, is it? Right beside it.
Chair.
Sorry, Matt, did you say pier?
Chair.
Or like
chair, something to sit on.
a chair? That was my second thought. Okay.
Yes.
Chair. Um chair. Chair for a Deerendale, maybe? Okay.
No. Andrew, what do you want to do? Want to go inside? You want to join him?
Yeah, I'll go inside.
You'll have to touch down your boat.
No fun.
Yeah, can't take the boat inside.
No boats allowed.
Yep, no boats allowed. It's part of the rules.
Get out here with the boat.
You're on a boat. Nyong.
Everybody look at me, motherfucker. All right. So, two thoughts here. One, blessings are based on where you place down this tier.
Sure.
Uh,
Catch here. I think both sides of the opposite of the altar, or the east, north, south, are also feeding into the tree.
you think these items are feeding into the tree?
Mm-hmm. Or at
Okay.
least were partial representations of the tree as well.
This is so hard because, like, I, um, Susie's gonna go and look at the pedestals. This one first. She's gonna look at it. Gonna eye it up and down. Gonna like see if there's any writing on it or engravings, yada yada.
No, simple stone bowl.
What about the offering bowl itself?
Same.
And what's with the dial in the middle of the room?
That's not something you know about. It does seem to have its own small little orb of light, maybe mimicking a sun.
Okay.
All the pieces move slowly. There's a lot of little pieces moving too.
Um, any of it in the God's tongue?
A lot of symbols.
Hmm.
This looks like a map of the realms. All the little pieces.
So it's a map of the realms.
Hmm?
But it's not written in God's tongue.
The
Uh,
symbols are, yeah.
oh, the symbols are.
Yeah.
Is there is this the symbol for stay?
Say that one word. It's a symbol for what?
Day.
Oh, day. I thought you said stay.
No,
Yeah, I
day.
heard. There's a symbol on there for day. In
Is
fact, there are a lot of symbols for what time of day or what kind of day,
okay.
and when it is
Um,
almost not day or when it is almost day.
okay. Is there a symbol for uh, uh starts with an E?
Eclipse?
Our home plane.
Oh,
Yeah, there's a symbol. In fact, there's two
And
symbols
yeah.
for Aetherwary. Yeah, also known as the
Um,
continent.
yeah. Looking at the Aetherwary symbol, I'm going to look where it is in relativity to the time of day. Um, Essentially, my character is trying to figure out, is this like essentially a giant sundial on a
It
cosmic
is.
scale?
Yeah, it is basically a giant. It's not really a sundial, but it does calculate what time it is.
almost like an
Mm,
atlas.
Yeah, all the pieces take in scope of like what time of day it is in the fire realm, or what time of day is it Skyhold, or what time of day is in Zeki's realm, and what time of year it is, and all these major different elements as it calculates every different major plane, and then the living plane, which
mhm,
is the continent and Aetherwary. But it's not the only continent.
mhm.
There's other ones out there. You
Interesting.
guys live on the largest one, a Pangea continent. That's why it's so large. But there's other smaller ones. Very large islands, too.
Alright, Easley. Now it's time. You take out the map, you eat this thing, and we all die. Sound good?
No. Um,
My only thing is that, is this a puzzle room, or am I being overthinking it and I just need to put it down? That's my... Do I need to do something with this atlas?
You're not sure?
Yeah,
Then
that's
you know
my issue.
Idirondale's always like that. Just
Yeah, right?
always making you guess.
Well, it's my personal quest, and I'm going to do what Susie believes is right. Susie's going to place the blessed moon droplet here.
Okay. Moon droplet. Bloop. Yeah. All right. We'll have successfully delivered the moon droplet. Mhm.
She will sigh in relief as this was never a burden. She feels that it is a relief that she is finally able to bring this. And she is happy that she's finally been able to do it.
Okay. You will gain one particular thing before the other rewards.
Is this the blessing that was stated in the quest?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Blessing of the Moon Goddess, Idirondale.
Idirondale is going to offer you either a blessing, or you may be one of her official apostles.
Ooh.
But that comes with a lot of responsibility.
It does. It does.
But only someone who is devoted and earnest may become an apostle of any of the gods of the pantheon. They will adorn you with the vestiges of that particular god or goddess. And it doesn't matter where you are. If anyone else also worships or subscribes to Idirondale, you're in charge. An apostle is basically the authority besides Idirondale themselves.
Right, you are the speaker. You are the fingers of Fuck, this is really hard because I have Deus Vault for Lord Ghoul. And I don't know if that would overwrite that, or... It's definitely given me a cause of conflict between the choices. But it is definitely a great honor for Susie to undertake that.
It doesn't take away from your Deus Vault from Lord Gaul. that would be also serving him.
Yeah.
So it doesn't interfere. Worshipping the gods does not take away from your reverence of
Yeah,
your target. His fault.
Gotcha.
But it does come with responsibilities. If Idirondale asks you to go clap some cheeks, that usually you're gonna need to do it.
Yeah, because I am the fingers of Dirndale.
You have become my Deerendale's touchy-feely bits.
Sorry, guys. This was not what I was expecting.
No worries.
It also is a very big path change. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's definitely like I am now going this way compared to what I was, the different options I had.
They don't demand it of you. You may have a blessing instead.
Exactly, and that's the caveat here is that I don't know if it will be equal value, but I know it will be definitely a large blessing for this undertaking. But the honor of being the apostle of someone she cares about so much is definitely, appealing. Yeah, I've thought about Susie a lot. But funny enough, I haven't really thought of Susie as an apostle of Idirondale, even though I brought it up in the past of being both apostles of Idirondale and Apollo. But I know that wouldn't work and it shouldn't work. Just give me 10 more seconds. I'll decide on this. I was just about to say yes, but I just wanted to double think about it for a second. I accept the position of Idirondale's apostle.
Okay. You will gain the Apostle's Vestiges. It is moon wherever you may go.
Okay.
Go ahead and gain 10 legendary action points permanently.
Okay.
And you may use gain a new legendary action called Eclipse. You may use 10 legendary action points to just hide the sun with the moon. And all of the rays that come down are now beautiful moon rays.
All right, guys. Now I just need the moonbeams, and I'm just gonna hit you with a bunch of moonbeams, like the Dota hero Luna. And
joke's on you. You can fire while the eclipse is up. You can fire Idirondale's bow.
Yeah.
Into the eclipse and hit any target.
Nice.
that you know the presence of.
Yeah.
And it'll just go into the eclipse and come right down.
Yeah.
The bow has unlocked its second feature. Because it only does so much in the hands of
normies.
Normies, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't really call them normie. I had a lot of going for me, moon wise.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Compared to an apostle, we are normies.
Yes.
The bow may be fired once a day without cost.
Right.
Additional arrows will have to be constructed the old way.
Okay.
When you shoot the arrow, you may choose to apply either your catalyzer to the impacted target, or an effect. Or you can heal the target instead.
Mm-hmm. Right.
The bow, whereas Nareem has cleanse, that major divine ability.
Yep.
Dirndale has a offensive based divine ability, which is called Enshroud. Anything
Cool.
that is enshrouded cannot be understood while it is enshrouded. Any ability does not work on it to surmise what it is. And if you enshroud somebody, they don't know who you are. You are a mysterious entity.
So is this applied to the bow itself, or can I use it as an effect from the
An
arrow?
effect, yeah.
Gotcha,
An effect from the arrow.
Okay.
The enshrouding effect can't last longer than 24 hours.
Okay.
But you can reapply the timer each time you shoot it with an arrow.
Cool.
You may also use legendary action points to enshroud things you touch.
Okay.
Each point, it enshrouds it for an hour. You may also use 3 legendary action points to make an arrow. The bow has a defensive feature. If someone touches the bow that you don't approve of touching the bow, it sends them to the moon instead.
Okay. There's a good anti-theft property of the bow.
Mm-hmm. You may also make an attack with the bow. If you hit them in melee combat with the bow and deal 1 point of damage, you may make an opposed willpower test. If you win, they're sent to the moon.
Gotcha. So I have clarification on the bow. Or do you want to finish first? Finish first, and then I'll ask questions, if that's okay.
If you crit succeed, even if on the willpower test, they're sent into space instead.
Yikes. Out of combat, out of mind. Good luck. Gotcha.
Yep. The vestiges are immune to non-magical damage.
Okay.
You can also at any time go to the moon and then come back as a free action.
Very convenient.
You may take 1 person with you every time you go to the moon.
Okay.
They have to be in touch range.
Okay.
You may now approach the palace on the moon.
I now have permission. Excellent.
Yeah. This will be your office.
Oh, that's the chair. Gotcha.
Which means all the objects in here and the unblemished stargazers outside are yours to take care of.
Excellent. That is a responsibility I will take wholeheartedly.
The objects in here are gifts to you. If you wish to give them out, you may.
Excellent.
Otherwise, they are beautiful things to look at. Unfortunately, this place can never be linked to the dungeon.
That's completely fine. This is Idirondale's realm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But Phil's house, his summer home, can.
Nice.
So.
Okay.
And there are many, many more mysteries involved in the apostle.
Yeah.
The robe is a divine item.
Oh,
It has open keystones for you to decide what else it does.
oh,
It's not set.
just like Eatsley's lantern. Cool.
Yes, it has 10 keystones.
Oh.
Once assigned, it cannot be undone. So
That
pick
makes
wisely.
sense. That's a fair way to do it. So awesome.
When speaking, you may choose. You have to tell me. I am speaking for Idirondale,
right.
which applies authority.
Gotcha.
If you are speaking as the representative of Idirondale, if you are disrespected, Idirondale has been disrespected directly. Right. Idirondale will handle it if you don't.
In her own mysterious ways. Excellent.
Yeah. They usually want you to handle it, though.
Of course, because I am her fingers after all.
Yeah. You may now also talk to administrators. Not on equal ground because the administrators are sponsored by all of the Pantheon.
Right.
But you can actually send them direct requests.
Am I negated from administrative roles now?
Yes.
Like, I can't complete that quest pretty much.
Not unless you give up the apostle seats
that makes sense.
Attempt to take the administrator test. That's the hard cost.
Mm-hmm. And that's completely fair. I think that's a great way to do it. But okay. So I had a few questions.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, so I don't forget about it, was about the arrows. So before, all it took was me to pass a willpower test and giving it its quote unquote power word to what it's supposed to do. But now you're saying once per day there is no cost, so I don't need to roll a willpower test, pretty much?
Nope.
Is that what that means?
You don't need to roll a willpower test at all to pull the bow.
Correct. For that. I don't have to do that in the future at all? Or just
never.
The once per day? Okay.
But you remember you have to craft an arrow out of fate currency every time you use it.
That wasn't stated before.
Oh, no, there was a price to make the arrows besides a willpower test.
It was what you wanted the arrow to do. Strike true, for example. But if we want to put something in place now, Matt, we can.
No, if it wasn't in place before, because I thought I had made it so that every time you pull the bow, you have to give up a fate currency to loose it. But if I didn't put that on there, then we're way too far in the game. You don't have to roll willpower test. You get one free arrow a day. If you want to make more, you'll have to use moon, cosmic element, fate element. You'll have to use some materials to make more arrows.
Sure. And you said I could use 3 legendary actions to make an arrow instead of using these material costs.
And they respawn every day.
Gotcha.
You are now a legendary creature.
Excellent. Okay.
You will get to label your spider class. What are you? You used to be a moon spider. What are you now? Are you still a moon spider?
What about a sun eater? Don't actually eat the sun, but
do you want to be a sun eater? I'll give that to you.
I was just thinking for a label would be a good throwback.
Well,
Unless you already have
that's
that
actually
in place.
that's actually a species in this game.
Gotcha. If you already have that made, okay.
They are legendary beasts that eat other legendary beasts
I know.
for breakfast.
I know.
They're spooky.
I was just thinking, since Susie was based off of Luna, and she had she was a Sun Eater superhero and a Sun Eater costume.
You could.
Good. What would Susie be called? Cosmic Spinner?
Yeah, you can be a cosmic spinner.
Cosmic Dancer. There we go.
Yeah. What conditions do cosmic dancers form? Are they only found on the moon?
No, they are not only found on the moon.
Yeah, what elements need to be present, or what conditions need to be?
Cosmic needs to be present. Fate needs to be present. Fate and Destiny's combo. Cosmic, Fate, Destiny.
Does it need low gravity? Does it need lots of light? Very little light?
It does need it could be very little light. That's what we can make it.
Okay. If you'd like, you can give me the details.
Sure.
For next
I
session.
think Char sent me a picture way back. Talked about this. Is this it? Spooky.
Cool. Itza, what you up to? Just studying the dial?
Actually, he's going to be checking out the portals. Because correlation for causation, the portals probably lead to all the realms.
They actually
That would be
do.
convenient. Yes.
They do.
Yeah.
Downside, they're one-way portals.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But Susie,
Loophole.
with her vestige, can just go free action. I go to the moon.
Yeah, and then you guys do a full action turn to port to me, and then you guys can go through the portals again.
Now, it's one way, and it is a random.
Oh, fun.
Random.
At least you're getting to the location you need to go to, so that's convenient.
You are extremely likely, if you want to go to Skyhold, just falling out of the sky.
Yeah. But that's not where I'm looking for right now.
You look for Yitz's realm.
There is one for Zeki's realm. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I still have so much I need to do in Zeki's realm for the first trip.
Walks in, immediately goes into the river Styx.
Yeah. Using a portal to Zeki's realm would deny you the pilgrimage, which is what you need for the office in which you're going for.
Yeah.
just like the pilgrimage was necessary for Susie, you screw up the pilgrimage, especially for Ziki, who's all about protocol. That could be disastrous. And this will randomly place you somewhere
Hmm.
in Ziki's realm, which bypasses protocol. And Ziki don't like that. And he's your homie right now.
Yep. So, I know how to get to Zeki's realm. That's the problem. Secondary question. Is there a hidden passage here? Because I know all of the hidden passages.
There is. It is underneath the chair and the desk of this office.
Good to know.
Susie actually wouldn't know that it's there. That special thing you got is the reason you would know.
Yep. I'm not going to
Oh.
tell Susie because it's easy to get lost in those passageways.
And it's aetherless in there.
Yeah.
You're on a timer going in anyways.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But it's untraceable.
Yep. You want to Susie? I'm like, all right. You good, Susie?
I am now that this is completed.
You have completed a labor.
Oh, cool. Didn't even know it was a labor.
And Arendale's cheeky like that. They don't, unlike Zeke or any of the others who would officially label it as such. And Arendale's like, nah, it's just a quest. Do it or don't.
Okay. I don't know what happens when you complete a labor. I imagine it's a good thing, and B, apostle.
Yes.
So
you were given the opportunity to be an apostle because you completed a labor. But it also, if there is anything that goes, you need to have completed this rank of quest for you to gain this effect. Well, this is the highest tier quest you can get. It's a labor.
Yeah.
So you qualify for just about everything.
Nice. Easily, does that help with your mantles or anything?
It does. So my house always gives me, which I usually was what I wear, it gives me a bonus armor every time we complete a quest, or I help you complete a quest.
Yeah, and you helped me complete this quest.
So I'm assuming this falls under a divine quest.
Higher.
Oh. What is it for? So it's a plus 20 for a divine quest.
Add 10 impervious to the house mantle.
Okay.
It cancels out up to felling 10.
Yeah.
It also, when you don the house mantle, emits moonlight in a 10-meter radius.
Neat. Look, you
Nice.
even give yourself an extra half action wherever you are, if you have that on, if you're in your Fed network.
It does not help you with stealthing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But if Susie applies Enshrouded, you don't emit that light anymore, and you're just enshrouded.
Yeah. So not only does it drip blood, it now emits a moonlight in a 10-meter radius.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. Indrid, what are you doing? Ailey?
Well, guys, we got some cool things around. And some cool plants too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I am done with the moon for now. But thank you all who decided to come. Appreciate you coming on this journey.
Of course, Susie.
Shall we be back to Skyhold?
To Skyhold.
Okay. Meanwhile, Ashifer, you kind of wandered, found a really cool spot between the unblemished stargazers, and you sit at a tea set, and when you look up, find Arendelle has sat down.
I just pour her a cup of tea like I promised.
And they give you a shh, as in don't let the others know they're here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm just keeping my promise of if I ever came to the moon to set up a tea set and be the flu for her to pet.
Yeah. You're going to get the scritches.
Yep. And I'll just sit and watch the party with Arendelle. That's all.
Oh, we finally get a picture.
They sip their tea.
Yep.
Give you pats and scritches.
I am happy as can be.
Yeah. When you when the others are ready to go and Darendale has disappeared, you have another tail. It's blue. Or has blue markings on it.
It's... Okay.
It sometimes does random effects.
Okay.
It can do anything by just using Comet Fall to flipping somebody's shirt inside out. It's the mischievous tail.
Mm-hmm. It's Darendel's playful tail.
Yeah, just like bloop,
Yep.
bloop, 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 bloop.
I now have 12 tails.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And you just float over to the party. Like, are we heading back or?
Yeah, if you'd like, we can go through a portal back. We still need to go back to Skyhold.
Mm-hmm.
Ellie, you there?
Allie is not. She stepped out for a sec.
Okay. Let Allie know that that boat can go with her.
Nice.
If they want to, they can have it shrink down to a little toy boat and put it in their bag.
Cool.
It takes a complex action to shrink it and to embiggen it.
Mhm.
And you have to take the aether crystal out when you shrink it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it is a bit heavy. It weighs 10 pounds in small mode. Other than that, it weighs about 100 outside, but flies, so doesn't matter.
Fancy.
Hmm. The boat is made out of unblemished stargazer bark.
Oh, very nice. A blessed boat.
Yes, it's a blessed boat. And yes, you can use it to fly to the moon. It'll take a
Fly
long
me
time.
to the moon.
It'll take a long time, but it'll fly you to the moon.
Here you go.
To
Very
the moon!
Speaking of the moon, did you guys hear the Russians crashed into the moon? One of their spaceships.
Come on, guys.
Oh.
But I can't blame them.
Now they're littering the moon.
And we littered the Titanic because we're a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
We made our submarine out of carbon fiber. That wasn't gonna go well.
Well,
So, guys, come into my office, and we'll take the portal to Skyhold. I think that's the fastest way to go.
All right, we're gonna have to probably unfill, or else we're gonna start falling. So.
Yep.
Hmm?
Jump back up on Phil.
Yep. I am currently playing with my new tail.
It baps you several times. Like, geez.
Nope. I'm entirely down with it. Bapping it back. There is now a bap off between me and my tail.
Yeah, it's winning.
Yep.
But it's
I
also
start
getting hit in the face with the floofiest floof.
Yep. Which is why I'm not arguing. I will start counter bapping with my other tails.
They're like, bring it on!
Off to Skyhold.
You got it correct. Sky! Oh!
Mm-hmm.
You know how to be.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Congrats. Guys, take the portal. Yeet. Ah!
Ooh, where do we pop out at?
Somebody roll me a 1d100.
Not it.
Hmm. Nah, Skyhold.
Duh. Nobody wants to give me a 1d100?
68.
map of the world tells you you're actually closer to the Siren's Bluff.
The Siren's Bluff.
Yep.
They don't need to go to the Siren's Bluff?
Nope.
I know Indra still needs to go to the very north of Skyhold, but I think that's it.
I need to go to the Storm Coast and Idarendale side.
You need to go to the Storm Coast. Indra needs to go to the far north.
All right, away!
So where do you guys want to go first? Storm Coast? Far north? Actually, GM, which one's closer?
Storm Coast.
Okay. Storm Coast, then end with Indrid.
Okay.
Any problems with that?
I got no problems with it.
What about the other two?
I'm good.
Okay.
Allie
Storm
has.
Hmm?
Did you guys hear me say Allie went to bed?
No.
Nope.
Okay. Allie has gone to bed. She is tired.
Okay.
Okay.
To the Storm Coast.
It's going to take you quite a bit to get to the other side of Skyhold. A lot of flying. Even at Phil's max speed.
Why don't we loophole it? Let's get Allie to use her moonboat to just get over there really quickly, and then we pop out of Allie.
Okay. It'll take about a week for Allie to get there.
Compared to us, like traveling a month worth.
Yeah.
It's going to take us how long to get there? A month?
Yeah, on top of Phil.
If we travel via Phil.
Mm.
That's like 3/4 of the time gone. So
Yep.
I'm
Question.
down if Indrid's down, and Indrid's not here to tell us yes or no. But
Well, Indrid's got
sure.
a boat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sure they love it.
Yeah, it's the only other option I can think of is we have a friend who's a hero who has a boat that can get anywhere in Skyhold in 48 hours.
Excelsior!
We just don't know where he's at, though.
That's for you know exactly where they are at.
Oh, right. I was like, no, they're at the library.
Well, even more of that. Mindless is your contractor. You always know where they are.
Yeah.
They're part of the hero party.
So where's Einless right now?
At the library.
I'll just. How long will it take us to get to the library from where we're at?
4 days.
Like, so if we go to the library. Here, 1 second. Let me ask. Now I'll page.
Or a
Einless.
day on Indrid, then you teleport to Indrid.
Okay, I'll page Einless. Hey, Einless.
Ah! Ashenfur. How can I help?
Can we borrow a ride on the hero boat?
Of course.
Yep. You gotta say it right though.
My brain is entirely blanking on the name of it.
Excelsior!
Yeah. So yes, you will be like, can we borrow a ride on Excelsior?
That sounds good. That's not bad.
No. Sure.
Cool.
Do you need a portal?
That'd be great. Yeah. Otherwise, it'll take us 1 to 4 days to get there.
I'll step out and provide you a portal immediately. Give me 10 minutes to get it
Thank you.
properly anchored.
Thank you.
Of course.
Just look over. Matt, we're getting a portal ride and then a boat ride.
Okay.
Uh, 10 minutes. Then I guess 10 minutes later, a portal opens up.
Yeah, sure will. Indra could fly their boat through, and you all can just fly through on top of Phil.
Yeah.
Boat. Indra got boat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, not there. This one. Bibs. You guys on the outside, the landing pad for. It seems you have successfully arrived.
Yeah.
Runs over and hugs Lineless. Hi.
Gets bapped repeatedly in the face by the mischievous tail. Gosh. Fluffy. Wow.
Grabs tail, hugs it. Sorry, Idarendelle gave me a new tail. It's mischievous.
It surely is. My goodness.
Susie will actually finally pet you, but pet the one tail in particular.
This is nice.
The mischievous tail behaves as you pet the that particular tail. It's like, yeah, I'm a good boy. Master, I've also put aside a series of books for your perusal and enjoyment.
Ooh.
You told me about your desire to be a celestial designer, so I went out of my way to locate all of the potential artificing, enchanting, inscription, and magic theory and spell design books that I could find.
Cool.
It is not a small amount of books, though. It's about 55 books that I have found. I don't know if some of them are even helpful. Maybe you already know the knowledge.
It's always fun to read. And in gratitude, I will pull out my spell book. Read Cody for a day.
Oh my goodness. Cody gives an eyeball at Einless like, I'm going to show you some shit. You're going to regret it.
I pet Cody's the spine. It's like, be nice. She's my best friend. She's one of my best friends.
Now I'm going to show them spells that'll drive them crazy.
Then I will never read you again.
I'm going to show them the world of magic.
Yes, but they still need to be sane to be able to do magic and not be hunted by their own people.
No, I wasn't going to show them those spells. I was going
You
to show
said
them.
You were going to show them spells that will drive them insane.
No, drive them crazy.
They can't be crazy.
Well, then it'll drive them crazy, as in, like, not actually insane, but drive them crazy with, like, obsession. I'm going to show them the cool spells. And they're going to be like, why was I casting all these lame spells before?
That's fair, as long as you don't break them.
No, that's not my job. My job's to be kind of mischievous myself and show them spells like Call Dad.
I just pet him. Be nice.
Or summon Pebble and Shoe.
Those are fine. Just be nice.
Baby.
And I'll look at her and be like, by the way, be careful. He does radiate mana. So don't get mana drunk.
Oh, I don't think I've ever been mana drunk since when I went to school for the first time and I got pranked. It's not an experience I want to relive.
He rubs his chin. He radiates the equivalent of a level 10 spell every 6 seconds.
Well, fortunately, I have a lot of artifacts and magic items that need to be refueled, so this will be a perfect chance for that.
Cool.
Or a spell reservoir. Endless will give a bow to the rest of the party. Apologies. I hope the portal was uneventful.
Yeah.
Alright. We will be here for another 24 hours while Redeemery finishes his task here. And then we'll be off on our way. We too wish to explore the other side of the Skyhold. And we would be more than willing to take you along.
That paladin of follow. They didn't happen to follow you here, did they?
No, they were seeking something called the Ethereal Sword.
That's bad, man.
Oh no, I'm 100% glad they don't have that right now. I would be in serious trouble if they had that.
Wait,
I'm like,
wait.
Are they?
Wait, isn't it the sword that's supposed to be able to cut through anything? No?
It doesn't cut. Not to my knowledge. But it bypasses most things. And strikes true. The thing you were aiming at.
I'm just... Aitsley?
Hmm?
What was the name of that sword we found in the Moonwell?
Don't worry about it.
God damn it!
That is a different weapon. That's not the Ethereal Blade.
Okay.
That does cut whatever it tries to... whatever it strikes at.
Oh, so they're looking for the ethereal sword, not the ethereal blade. Okay.
Well, ethereal versus ethereal.
Oh,
So
ethereal.
Okay.
Okay. I'm like,
Okay. So you didn't snatch the quest plate. Cool.
it was going to be really funny if I did. Where is it rumored to be at?
In the heart of a storm.
Oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, I'm just going to sit down and start reading the collection of books that was prepared for me.
It is organized and categorized.
I am.
And there's already a pile of pillows ready and waiting for you to just pounce onto.
Yep, I am going to pounce onto the pillows and begin reading.
Susie plans to go to her office on the moon.
To the office! One moment
That's
while I
right.
move you to that map.
That's where I will spend the 24 hours.
You appear in the seat.
Perfect.
Yeah, you disperse into particulates of moonlight and then condense back to your physical self from the particles that reform here.
So I beam me up, Scotty, is what I'm hearing.
Yes, you just got beamed up.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm just going to be checking out the items, and the trees, and yeah, I'm just going to spend the first 24 hours moving it, pretty much.
A little quest notifier. It's not an attached quest. It's a little if you happen to find this is a quest that you can redeem.
Okay.
There's a flower that that goes here.
Oh, for the spots. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah, the Evershroud Rose.
Okay.
Yeah. If you find it, put it here.
Matt, need some clarifications. Are the items on the right and left here, or are they placeovers from old map?
No, they're here. I changed all the items out.
Good.
I changed everything out. Because if you remember, there were 2 on each of the pedestals last time.
Mm-hmm.
And they were vastly different.
We didn't have these there either. And we also had another map entirely on the other side. So yeah. Yeah. This one's the only one that just looks familiar. I don't remember this one entirely. This looks like the plant we saw on the moon well.
Yeah. It is. It's that seaweed.
Cool.
Yep.
So yeah, Evershroud Rose on the right, and Everbright Rose on the left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or the other way around. Okay, perfect.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, like I said, I'll just be doing this for the next 24 hours, and just to get myself intertwined.
Okay.
And,
there is some sort of weird moonblade.
Mm-hmm.
There is a book that is enshrouded.
Cool.
And there's a little eye that comes up and looks at you like, yeah, I'm enshrouded. What are you going to do about it? I'm mysterious. It is called the Book of Obscurities.
Nice.
That is provided to you by a Deerendale because the book is enshrouded, and so is every page.
I see.
So
Quite
it's
quite the read.
permanently mysterious and undecipherable while enshrouded. You'll have to
Gotcha.
banish the enshrouded status on every page you want to get through, which is very hard to do.
Mm-hmm. It's a good exercise for doing that, for sure.
On the other side, there is a treasure grade, small size cosmic element aetherstone.
Oh, neat.
And then the one above that, not entirely sure.
That's all right.
You have a suspicion, but that can't be correct. It's crystallized Ethereum?
Be a very big crystallized Ethereum, that's for sure. Okie dokie.
It's mostly fractalized, so if you can pull little chunks off.
Right. Maybe get a sample.
Not one big thing. It's a bunch of small crystals.
Gotcha.
And they kind of almost magnetize to each other.
Neat. Like it tracks like. Cool trees. Love the trees. Unique for both.
There are mysteries involving those trees, but you need the roses.
So that's the first step. Cool. All right. I'll remember that.
Yep.
And yeah, she'll.
And when you arrive, kind of partway through, you get a head pat from my Deerendale. Just out of nowhere. Oh. They're just feeling it. They're just like, yeah.
Wonderful.
Fills you with purpose and drive. It also shows that you are loved. Deerendale is like, yes, you are my beloved apostle.
Surprised Deerendale didn't have one before, but I guess no one was able to complete the labor. And
you complete the labor.
Yeah, exactly. But no one like it's been a while since someone's even attempted, or for example, the castle has been. How long has it been since Deerendale's side's been completed?
In its entirety, like all 10 floors?
Yeah,
about a century.
Right. So I'm sure that's one of the reasons too why there's no apostle for Deerendale yet. So now there is. Cool.
Even if you complete the labor, it does not mean you are worthy. And Deerendale is very picky. And they only pick kind of the weirdos of the group. Like, you got to be a pretty strange critter or person.
Yep.
The more esoteric and eccentric you are, the more likely they'll pick you. So if you're like, I'm the most powerful warrior in the land, go see Apollo. I don't care.
Yeah, really though.
You're not fun. You have one of the weirdest character shades I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
For this character, yeah.
Oh well. It's just what it is.
You will find that the droplet can be moved as long as it's in the bowl. It is your mark of office. If it is taken, you are no longer an apostle because you must take care of it.
Well, they have to get here first. Which is possible if they go through the friend network. But they also have to, be invited in that sense.
I have to siege the moon office.
Yeah. Okie dokie. That's my 24 hours. Taking care of the trees. Sitting down.
Go ahead and add
appreciating
Unblemished Stargazer to your list of trees or plants you know.
Cool.
You may make once a month
Mm-hmm.
a charm test for some of the unblemished stargazer bark.
Okay. I was wondering if we could get some sap from them. That would be neat.
You can do that too.
Cool.
You can get a little bit of both. You can get all sap, or you can get all wood, or a
Split.
branch, or whatever, or a little bit of both. But it's
Oh,
once a
cool.
month.
Cool.
But that's your responsibility to take care of them. And they're a bit
It is.
finicky.
Well, tell me what you need is quite the important skill. My wood sprite, so. Okie dokie.
They need moonlight
Of
at
course.
specific times of the day. Or specific times of during the moon. Never more than 4 hours at a time.
Oh, interesting.
But it's naturally placed here, and they get the perfect amount of moonlight.
Exactly.
And Idarendale also takes care of them for that. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that would be impossible to raise these things or nurture them, but all of those possibilities are like, Idarendale wanted them, so they're happening.
Excellent. Alrighty. Swap to somebody else. I will be back shortly. Gotta get Luna.
Luna! He's like, what are you up to?
Easley has 24 hours.
Duh!
Easley is...
If you remember, at the library, you can go down into town.
Yes. Easley's gonna go into town.
Okay. Where are you going?
He's gonna wander around.
Okay. You're wandering around?
Yeah. Look around. Peer into a shop. Do that wandering thing.
Yeah. Yeah, roll me a 1d100 for happenstance. Random shenanigans.
Also making sure to explore all the pubs that I missed last time as well.
Oh gosh. There's quite a few places to drink. Most of them are outdoor pubs. They're kind of that Oktoberfest that has a little awning that people can sit under, or they can sit under the sunlight. And they have kind of a little wooden bar. And they just kind of have a bunch of kegs lined up, and you walk up and then you find a bench.
Yeah. 44, by the way.
Nice. There's a couple people who are really having a great time. A couple drinking contests, which is kind of boring for you. And there is one guy who is like, I am the best drunken fighter this world has ever seen. Look at me go! Whee!
My good sir, that is a lie.
Whee! Look at me go! I have no balance, but perfectly balanced.
I'm gonna go, my good sir, that is a lie, for I am the best drunken fighter.
And he's like, nay, sir, Mr. Skeleton, I am the best drunken fighter. And they're like, hey, that's cheating. He's a skeleton. They don't get drunk.
Yes, I do. I choose to get drunk.
Skeletons can get drunk?
And damn right I can.
Prove it!
My good sir, your finest keg of booze.
The finest?
Your
Like
finest.
Whole keg?
A whole keg.
It'll be a platinum.
Bam, platinum coin.
He just shrugs. It's a little smaller keg than the rest, but he sets it down. I will let you know it's a bit magical, so it's a little potent.
Can just pop the keg, cork, and just start drinking.
Glug, 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 glug. Whee! They're like, it's not going through him. He's actually drinking it. Alright, sir. I challenge you to a drunken fisticuffs.
Fine. I challenge you to a drunken fisticuffs.
No, I've already challenged you.
But and he throws down an arm.
You slapped him with an actual slap.
Well, I can't do that, but he'll take off a glove and throw it on top of your arm.
Hey! And pick it up. And now we challenge. I put the keg in front of him, whatever left.
Have ye. And he taps the keg with his little flask, which drains the keg, and he just starts chugging from the flask. Behold the magic flask of all liquor! It will store and absorb all the liquor and combine it into the best around.
I have better liquor, and I even survived as a miracle.
Well, have at ye! And he'll throw a punch at you, because he did challenge you to drunken fisticuffs.
Yeah. I'm gonna slap it.
Let me... Okay. He has rolled a 10th digit, which means his ability will proc. It will auto hit. Bah!
Oh, it's just gonna auto hit?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
It only does, since it is an auto hit, a d4 of damage.
Mm-hmm.
And 1 fatigue.
Oh my god.
If he rolls a double or a tens place, it triggers. 4 damage!
Alright.
Which is absorbed by soak.
Yeah. And I was like, no. And I'm like,
Ha ha!
You got?
That was just my first fisticuff! I have, more where that came from.
Alright, hold on.
Are you gonna give him the punch?
No, I'm not. I want to give him a weak punch.
Okay. Where you only have enough sanity to do it once.
Right? But it's gonna be a weak punch.
Okay. Which I think doesn't kill him?
It doesn't, because it's all essentially it doesn't deal any damage or anything. It is just the threat of what it could have been.
Yeah.
Which means I actually get a lot of bonuses to this. Oh my god, where are my unnaturals? Stop it.
In hell.
I know. Oh, okay. And that's yeah.
You have inescapable, so you're gonna hit him. And he's gonna actually take the hit and spring out on his own. Like he makes the hit seem much worse, and he just flies off into the sky. Oh no! I'm busting
Like,
as he uses his dramatic exit ability.
I'm like, thing and told you he was a bitch.
Everyone's just clapping like, yeah! You showed him what for, sir!
I'm like, another round.
Another round! On this gun!
Yeah, and I'll put down a platinum coin.
Yeah, everyone's gonna get sloshed, and then you make your way over to
The next bar.
the next
And I-
bar.
Exactly. And I go to the next bar.
Okay.
I make-
There is always shenanigans at each of the bars, especially when people are like, "Is that a skeleton? Don't waste our good alcohol. It doesn't work on you." And you're like, "Bitch, give me that stuff." Glug glug glug. Oh my god, he's getting drunk.
Yep. Along with random fights.
Eventually, you do find your way to one of the avian bars,
Mhm.
and everyone kind of pecks their drink because they put their beak in it, and they're like, "If you're going to drink here, you need to drink like the locals at the bar." And you find yourself bird pecking your drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nom, nom, nom,
Stop.
nom, 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 nom.
And I'm looking, I'm like, is this how you guys do it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, why don't you just do it like this? And I'll just grab a corner and start chugging.
No.
Yeah.
Poor technique, sir. It goes everywhere.
Nah. It all just goes inside me.
Well, you're different. If you want to drink here, you gotta drink like us.
Well, that seems counterintuitive.
Yeah, so?
So why not drink like, I don't know, a normal person?
No.
Okay.
They're
He's
just
eventually
enjoying
gonna
you
leave.
drinking like that.
Yeah, he's just eventually like, all right, I'm done here. This is no. Stand up
This
and
is
walk
wh-
out. This is bad.
No, this is where you go. If you're gonna make me drink like you in your bar, you're gonna drink like us in every other bar.
No, they're just
Meh.
pulling his leg.
Yeah,
Mm.
they just don't want me here, and I know it.
You don't know?
I don't know. So, have you guys seen a wandering brewmaster or a drunken fist master?
One of them goes, No, haven't had one of them come through in a long time. Last I heard, they were trying to outdrink. Well, gosh, what's that god of chaos and evil and murder?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't? Well,
Mhm.
last I heard, he went to his realm to outdrink all of the Blood Skull barbarians, and basically they're gonna go out and drink some of the most hardcore heavy drinkers and brutal murderers around.
Mm,
Yeah,
that sounds like some fun.
yeah. Well, it could be, but it also could be dangerous. But no, who knows?
Mm-hmm. I understand. Well, if you see any people who are just wandering around, those wandering types.
The poet's still here.
Oh yeah, I love the poet. I learned a lot from them.
Sure.
And I learned how to give and flob in my meeker noggin.
Are you alright, sir?
Don't worry about it.
Sure. Alright, well. Have a good one.
Mhm. And he's gonna stand up and start walking again.
It was Vikaram, by the way.
Yeah, it was Vikram.
Hmm?
I remember because that was Ilya's goddess or god.
Yep.
Also cursed them with with lichdom.
Yeah, it's pretty spooky.
I'm actually on like the top. I'm like, hey, anyone here seen a paladin of Vikram?
They're like, no, don't bring up that name here. He might actually look at us or something. That'd be terrible.
I'm kind of curious because, like, look, there's this really hot paladin of theirs, right?
Look, there's
Bones,
hot and then there's crazy. You have to do the math of what is uh survivable, I suppose.
100% survivable.
Mm,
You guys haven't seen her around?
Can't say I have.
So I'm gonna have to go wander around and find them. All right, if you guys see them, let me know. Stand up and walk out of the bar. Now on a quest. See if I can find her again.
Probably went back to their realm, or
Mhm.
is out exploring the dark side of the
Yeah.
this particular realm of Sky.
Yep. But yeah, that's what they're gonna do for about 24 hours, or at least 12 of it, and then in the last bit, they're gonna actually start working. I couldn't remember, Blatt. If I wrote Zeki's tenets down on the World Serpent scale, which was my original plan, because it was also
You did?
aetherless. There wasn't anything. There wasn't any bad consequence to that, right?
Nah.
Okay, yeah. He's gonna start working on that again.
It's actually kind of interesting.
Hmm?
Noblesse oblige and God's tongue can be written successfully without penalty into aetherless objects, which is very strange.
Yeah, yeah. That's what Ace can continue doing. Just because I know it's gonna take him some time to write it all down.
Yeah, cool. All right. What do you want to focus on there, Monsieur Floof? Monsieur Floof! Bugger?
Das Floof.
You are Das Floof.
Das Floof is reading
Yes. What are you reading?
the books that were supplied.
Well, which topic first?
I will start with artificing first because that's what I'm currently in.
Sure.
Just doing the reading.
Cool.
I have 24 hours of reading. Das Floof is ecstatic.
Where are you on your progress towards of artificing? I'm gonna take a peek on what you got. Not the quest per se, but
Currently, I'm a journeyman artificer, and I've got maxed out artificing, as well as
okay.
I'm 2 dots in archetyping.
All right. Yeah, you toss a bunch of the beginner artificer books aside.
Okay.
Go ahead and give me some intelligence tests.
How many you want?
Let's do 2 to start. And how fast do you read again? I'm pretty sure you read fast.
Yeah, because of Nose for Knowledge, you said I can go through about a book in an hour.
Pretty good.
Because primarily because of supernatural comprehension.
Gonna give me one more. Unfortunately, that wasn't a pass, so another one! Are you adding your +10 from your unnatural?
No, I wasn't.
Never mind,
I'm-
you passed. I needed 10 degrees. I
Ah.
forgot the +10 and the +10. Go ahead and add your third check mark in archetyping.
Okay.
We'll have used the 91 and the 96 as you toss that book aside and go to a harder one. Unfortunately, this one's a lot harder to read. Keep going.
Okay. I forgot. Those 91 and 96s would have passed anyway, because supernatural comprehension gives me a +30 to comprehending anything in a book, and my +10 unnatural means I'm rolling versus a 110.
Well, you should have given that to me in the first place. All right, going back to the 5 you rolled with the +40, you'd have passed, and then the 68 below it would then be 5 degrees? Yeah, +4. So it'd be 5 degrees into the next check mark.
Would have
And
been
then
3
the other.
degrees and then 3 degrees.
Okay.
No, 2 degrees and 2 degrees. Sorry.
Yes. Another one. Significantly better. You'll have your fourth check mark in archetyping.
Huzzah.
All right. What else do you want to focus on?
There's one other thing that applied to archetyping and everything else that I was going to be needing. So I'm going to go through the pile of books and start studying the rune books.
Fire away. We'll do runes. Scholastic runes. Cool. Keep going. Okay. Second check mark in runes. Toss the book.
Acquires next book. Do I just keep going or?
Nope. You've the third check mark. Yeet.
Looks around, realizes what he's been doing, casts an invisible servant to start putting the books back.
Yeah.
Picks up the next book, starts reading.
More. More. There we go. You get your fourth check mark in Scholastic runes.
Okay, and this is when I let you know that I now have 4 check marks in artificing, archetyping, and runes.
Now, you must do the book that allows you to gain. Basically, it's the super class on top of that. So you have artificing, and you have all the other prereqs, and now they can combine into the next class.
Which is scrolling to that section of the journal because it was its own class that I had to get to. It was Archaeomancy Artificer.
Yes. Archaeomancy.
So I will find that book, which is
Not available here.
Lee. Okay.
But you could ask around.
I I will. I will use my nose for knowledge to sniff around to find where I need to go for the
Okay.
archaeomancy.
Go ahead and roll me awareness.
And I get a bonus to this because I'm searching for specific knowledge.
Okay. Roll me a 1d100, and you can move what you roll down by 4. Roll me that luck. Give me the luck. All right, you got 39. Still no chiromancy. Find some other fun stuff, though. How to spice up your food with magic. How to procrastinate and still succeed. Best pranks of all time. All sorts of
Quietly
stuff.
makes a mental note of that one.
Yeah.
But he'll just keep looking around.
Okay.
He'll
Maybe
ask
another
Ainsley-
awareness and another.
He'll ask Ainslev if she saw the book anywhere.
Not to their knowledge, no. As they're firing disintegration beams. And not just a single beam, but like a swipe. It's basically a disintegration arc.
Mm-hmm.
Which is disintegrate, but you hit everything in a cone. And they're like, this should be illegal. Cody's like, what are you, a wuss? Keep at
Right.
it.
I mean, my
Mhm.
friend, you saw me throwing out waves of fork disintegrate.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't end as long as there's more people, so I could fire that into a town and it would just keep going.
Please don't.
Obviously not. But knowing it doesn't make it intrinsically bad if you use it only when needed.
Mm.
I mean, there are super mages out there that know call meteor and have the capability of wrecking an entire city, but we don't see cities getting wiped off the map every day by random meteor strikes. Knowledge is not intrinsically bad, it is just knowledge.
Yeah. Hey, Buck, check this out. An X level spell. I'm going to teach it to your apprentice and not to you.
Then I won't make you a fancy plinth.
I don't need one. Joke's on you. Eyeless, cast the spell. How does this work? Fire the laser. And she fires this prism laser that's a Gaia element, which is all elements. And it's just like, oh shit, my mana pool. Stop it. You have no more mana. Na 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 na. She kind of coughs. Whoa, that was a lot. Prism Beam uses the rest of your mana pool. That is X.
Oh god.
Whatever you got in the tank, it takes it.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Side point. So, I'm gonna ask you a weird question, Einless.
All right.
You currently serve me as a companion, but I have a unique capability where I can invite you to be my chosen disciple.
What does that entail?
You would become a semi-monstre hybrid.
Would I still be human?
You would still be you, but you would be closer to a half-breed.
All right. If you've seen a Radiant Tier adventure, they're anything but human. So, yeah.
But this will bind us permanently. But you will also gain ludicrous benefits.
Let me think on it. I'll give you an answer in a day or so. I'm not actually against
tail
it.
thumbs up.
I'm not actually against it. You're actually someone of. You have a kindness, and I think if I keep an eye on you, you won't become.
The two biggest guarantees of this is that, one, you'll share my lifespan.
She actually spits out her tea that she was drinking. What?
Yes, as I am a nigh immortal legendary creature, you would share my lifespan.
Sign me up.
Two, we can never betray each other.
That was never the plan in the first place.
Exactly. The perks you'll get is you'll gain equal spell points to me. You'll be able to share
a lot.
It's currently, because I know Ainsless has a little over 400 after the perks. Currently, I have 730.
They have to lean their hip against a railing, that's a lot of spells.
You'll gain an equal number of legendary actions to me.
Oh, so that's where the hybridization is. Would I have a Monstre core?
Based on what I know, no, because you aren't a full Monstre.
If you do a powerful enough evolution, you could give a Monstre core to Einless.
You're like, oh, well. But so then the comment would be no, not initially. But if I were to perform a powerful enough evolution, I could, as part of that evolution, impart one to you. If you want it. The other perk is you'll be able to share all of my fires.
You have quite a few fires.
Including the Sacred Flame. Which is part of the reason why I have to go to the Temple of Apollo.
Well, regardless, they wouldn't be able to stop me escorting you to that temple.
Exactly. So, are you sure?
Yes.
And I'll walk up and put the paw on the forehead to mark Ainsless as the chosen disciple.
What's your mark? Because it'll tattoo their forehead.
It'll be that unique flame motif, but it will modify as I grow, so it'll have an equal number of little flame arcs off of it as to the number of tails I possess.
Nice. And when they kind of open their eyes, there is a lot of mana running through this person because they have different multipliers than you do. And if they get a base number of magic, they have now closer to 1,300 spell points. And they immediately just kind of turn to the open sky and Kamehameha the prism beam for 1,300 mana. And you just hear, "Whoa!" And it's just there's way too much mana. So as they fire it, the beam explodes along the way in increments. Well, That's... All right. And they will scoop you up and give you the scritchy pets. And they know exactly where you like it.
Oh, yeah.
The good scritch.
Yep.
I will go find your Archaeomancy book. Come, let's find it.
Yes.
I'll have you both roll. I'll roll a 1d100. You roll a 1d100. The search continues. Come on, Einless. Stop rolling like butts. You too, Ashen Fur. Oh man, my rolls are going up.
I will preemptively spend a boon on this one.
Woo! Find yourself in the lost sector, bro. You fall through a vent. Tung 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 tung. Swoop boing kunk. Unless there actually teleports to you and scoops you up and brushes you off.
You're like, one moment, I'm this. I need to do something. I've had this for a while. I've got the one stored one for preservationist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do an AoE make whole with the preservationist skill for repairing the books in the lost sector.
Okay. Very nice.
You know, look around, like pull out a marble, throw it on the floor to see if the freaking paper snakes come out.
They do. All the books that are fixed, they just disappear.
Like, well, I fixed a chunk of them. We should get out of here.
All right. I'll have you roll one more luck test. I just need 50 or less this time. Unless we'll also get a roll for it. Never mind. The library itself will reward you with the book you're looking for repairing all those other books. Thunk! A tone.
We're like,
Did
holding
you find
book.
what you're looking for?
Well, let's find more. The library blessed me with it because I'm a book doctor and I repaired a lot of the books in the lost sector.
You are the book doctor, yes.
But I have the book. Off to the pillows.
They will pick you up and football throw you into a portal. And you go sploosh into a pile of pillows.
Yep. And he is immediately sitting down and reading.
All right. We'll cut it here.
Yep.
That book is not going to be easy to read. That's going to take alone a couple days to get through.
Bad enough.
Yeah. Nicely done. So for your new class, you get to do a couple really silly things.
Okay. I'm changing my job title now.
Okay. Let me know when I can move you tabs. Cool. So you'll roll the forbidden skill, Archaeomancy, which I'll put in there for you.
Thank you.
One check mark. When you roll Archaeomancy, you will add your bonus from magic items, archetyping, runes, and artificer to the roll. In addition to rolling, archetyping, and getting that bonus.
So you said basics of magic.
No basics of magic, no.
No.
Runes,
Oh, magic item. Runes.
magic item, archetyping. And then you roll archetyping. You get that bonus to the actual, what would have been the artificing roll.
Oh, Jesus.
But instead, you add the artificing roll to the archaeomancy roll.
Okay, so combined with my 180 bonus from my tools,
you get plus 30,
plus 120.
60, 90, 120. Then you roll archetyping, add that bonus to the 120, to the 180, and then you roll that. You roll archaeomancy with the bonus, and that's what you get for your. Yeah. Well, you got to roll the archetyping. Remember?
Now, well, archetyping applies a bonus to the roll, so
I know. You get the plus 30, and you get to roll the archetyping, and then you add that degrees of success on that individual roll to the bonus on the archaeomancy.
It's like what I do with cooking and alchemy.
Yeah, just stack, rack and stack endlessly.
Okay. I already know I'm going to get in trouble with the admins.
I mean,
probably before I even reach the final job tier.
Mm-hmm. All right, that'll be it. Thanks, folks. Don't want to get too far ahead of Allie.
I'm gonna take off.
Okay.
Please.
Thanks,
Matt, do you have a second before you head off too?
Duh!
All right. So I could find the original pillar rewards that I saw before, because I hit the pillars for mind, might, swiftness, and spirit. Level 1 for might, swiftness, and mind, and level 2 for spirit. And I was hoping to get those from you sometime soon.
Okay. Go ahead and write that down for me. I'll make sure to get it to you.
Yeah, alright. Sounds good.
Duh.
That's the only question I have for now. Sounds good. Oh, do you want to give me edible privileges for Sun and Moon Dial, or do you want to just put them in yourself when
I'll put them in.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. Because I got new and full. Those were unlocked. I figured out the information about them itself.
I'll put it in there from your sheet.
Sounds good. I will see you later. Thanks for the session, Matt. Thank you for allowing me to become an apostle. Yeah, this should be really fun. Okay, I'm out of here.
Things get crazy, especially if you come across other followers around Deerndale, and they're like, "Huh, we are human supremacists," and you're like, "I'm an apostle, an official apostle.
Yeah,
we're doing this now," and they're like, "Oh, you're the real deal." Shit. Isn't that a spider? Yeah, we have to take orders from a spider. Fuck. And Deerndale's just like, I enjoy this very much.
Alright, guys. Peace.